Hey there, everybody, and thank you for watching. I'm Will DuPree.
And I'm Mandy Dugan. This is your KXAN Live News Notes. We're going to catch you up on the big stories of the day in less than 5 minutes.
We do want to provide a recap of a very emotional weekend here in Austin, starting with peaceful protests that began right outside Austin Police Headquarters.
That's right, Will. So as you mentioned, starting outside of APD headquarters, very close to I-35 and 8th Street, many of those peaceful protests marching all the way over to the state capitol.
Hands up! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
This right here is a little glimpse of those protests that were happening outside of APD peacefully. You can see that protesters have their hands up and they are chanting, "Hands up, don't shoot." Now, many of them were out there all day. Unfortunately, while this was happening, something else was happening just a few miles away.
We want you to see this surveillance video. These are people breaking into a liquor store on East 6th Street just after midnight. They got in and some got away with bottles. Officers did eventually respond to this call, but it's unclear if they made any arrests here.
Now, the damage, it wasn't just downtown. Our crew saw broken windows, boarded up doors at Foot Locker, Target, and Zales jewelry store over near Capitol Plaza. You can see officers were lined up there outside Target, and officers tell us that when they arrived, no one was inside. And we do want to make clear that the videos you're seeing of protesters and the looting happening, we do not have confirmation at this time that those looters were a part of those peaceful protests.
During this weekend's protests, hundreds walked onto I-35, even shutting down traffic at times. At one point Sunday, you can see here, officers used smoke and tear gas to try to clear the crowds. They also used non-lethal pellets. And here in just a second, you'll see a lot of the protesters and demonstrators were helping each other to clear eyes as they were irritated by the smoke and tear gas. And some of the protesters told us that the officers using tear gas to disperse them were not justified.
I understand we got to keep the peace. I don't want civil insurrection, but you got to have proportional responses in a free society. And what we're seeing over the past 2 days is not proportional responses.
Pretty compelling video right there. Now, there is another side to the protest. Some say it was to connect with officers protecting police headquarters.
You know, there hasn't been too much friction between the police officers. We actually had some good dialogue with some of the officers.
We want to show you another image that happened there at police headquarters. Here is a look at another peaceful encounter on Sunday. Protesters chatted with an officer there, and it looks like they are drinking beers. Demonstrators smiling, seeming to share a joke with the officers right next to them.
And this is certainly something we hope to see more of in the coming days, for sure.
In other news, the city of Austin is going to open 9 pools this week.
I know there are so many things in our headlines right now that really bog you down, but there are also many people who are anxious to get outside and just saying, hey, I need to get away from it all. I need to relax. So yeah, 9 pools are going to be opening up this week. The Parks and Recreation Department chose which pools to open based on staffing levels for certified lifeguards. One of the pools open today is Shite Pool. That's over in Hyde Park. Splash pads will remain shut for the immediate future.
We do have a list of pools that will reopen this week and their times right now on our website, KXAN.com. Thank you all again for watching. We'll see you back here another time. I'm Will DuPree.
And I'm Mandy Dugan. This was your KXAN Live News Notes.